Hey guys, Jan Davis Tutar here, JD, AFC Northerners, Ravens, and I am in Maryland, of all places. Drive all the way across the country from Los Angeles. I was in Los Angeles, left there, and now I am here in Maryland, and the Ravens are on the West Coast. I feel like I did this wrong. All right, so I'm excited for this game for a couple of reasons. One, playoff possibilities. Oh my God, so exciting. I've been talking about this game for what feels like forever, and so I'm really ready to see what we have whenever it comes to the possibilities of this game. So let's go ahead and break down this offense. One, we are playing a team that is so focused on stopping our run game, like legitimately focused on stopping our run game, and they have the tools to do it too. So there's some concern whenever it comes to Lamar Jackson running as much as he has been. Whenever you think about the defense that is the Chargers, you got to figure out how our run game is going to work, and if our run game even does. And if it does, despite that amazing defensive line, it shows that we really got something, and not just because we're running a lot. It actually means that we're trying to make some interesting plays there. So it'll be interesting to see what we come up. Now, if a run game doesn't work so well, we have to throw more. It can actually give us a chance to see how good of a QB that, LJ8 is really. So that's interesting. So Lamar's mechanics, whenever it comes to throwing, are really progressing. They're doing pretty well. Although he does need to really kind of display more accuracy in some of those throws. We don't really know how much of the last game, whenever he played the Bucs, where a lot of that was weather and bad throws, or if it was just bad throws. So something to think about in that regard. I'm interested to see what the decision making is in this game, to see whether or not it improves or not, and his ability to just throw way more accurate passes, especially long bombs. That's one thing that Flacco does have over him in that regard. Something else that I want to pay attention to during this game is Matt Skura. He hasn't really been great. He's been kind of a liability, both running and passing. So it may be interesting to see what he does in this game and whether or not he earns his keep. So we have a new look offense, right? And it's definitely helping our receivers create some separation. But I think the key is really going to be like chunk plays, just getting down the field on regular. Now, Chargers fans, I have you going to the Super Bowl. Okay, like legitimately, I think you're going to be able to do it. I don't really have a lot of optimism coming in and out of this game. It's going to be a hard battle. So we'll get back into that. But I just want you to know that something that I would like you to pay attention to is the weirdness aspect, the X factor, if you will, of Lamar Jackson. This is a guy who clearly has the ability to run and run often and doesn't mind doing it, which is a really interesting case study to see how your defense handles it. How do you guys adjust to that read option that he's got, the speed in which he can come through and just run right through offenses and defenses? So if Lamar can establish the outside run, then we're going to give you guys some problems here. The problem is whether or not he winds up getting nailed by Bosa or Ingram. So the one thing I see the Chargers doing on defense in order to stop this Ravens offense is really flooding the lanes. Lamar could become pretty one-dimensional if you're able to just basically box him in and not let him get anywhere, especially the running as well. Now, on the running back front, you got Gus the Bus. He has been just amazing, thriving through our O-line. I mean, he's got, 100 straight runs with 1 or more yards gained and no losses. So we got something in him. It depends on whether or not that actually follows through playing the Chargers. Now, unlike the Chargers, our wide receiver core isn't amazing. They have been really, really good at adjusting to our new QB. And Snead, on third down conversions, has been so clutch. So it's going to be interesting to see how our wide receiver core really stacks up against this Chargers defense. In the tight end department, we got a Mark Andrews, Hayden Hurst. There's a few. Max Williams has been okay this season, but Mark Andrews is really the guy I want to look for on offense for this game. It's been amazing. He's continued to get a lot of targets, so I'm going to see what winds up happening if they can't shut him down. So on defense. Now, Ravens, we apply a ton of blitzes, and our cornerbacks are playing pretty well right now. So it's going to be interesting to see how Phillip Rivers winds up acclimating to this tough-ass defense that we've got. However, there is a problem here. The chink in our armor is that we are doing kind of bad on 3rd and 4th and longs. Whenever we've played like really good teams this year, like Chiefs, Saints, we've had pretty decent leads and then opportunities to win right up into the end, but have fallen kind of short. And I think that's because we have an issue on 3rd and 4th and longs. And I think that on 3rd downs, we sort of like relax a little bit. And I think that definitely needs to change if we're going to win this game. Overall, I really think this is going to be a super competitive game. I think the Ravens are going to be in it the whole time. Just depends on whether or not we are able to really kind of batten down the hatches and weather that storm. I had so many metaphors, guys. I'm sorry. So many metaphors. It's bad. It's bad. I think this is going to be really one of the toughest games all year. Not just because I think that the Chargers are a better team. They really are. But there are a ton of variables going into this game. You've got linebackers on the Chargers that are typically their run guys that are now out. You've got the return of like Melvin Gordon and some other wide receivers that are going from like unhealthy to now healthy. It's interesting to see how they wind up stacking up against our secondary as well. Chargers have a lot more weapons in my estimation than what we do as Ravens fans. I will say this about the Ravens. The deeper that we seem to go into seasons, the harder it becomes for other teams to win against us. We are a team that sort of solidifies as the season goes on. I think there's going to be a lot of injuries at the end of this game because I think that we're going to be playing hard. They're going to be playing hard. I don't think anybody's going to relax. I don't think that anybody has any intention of just being mediocre. That being said, this is Ravens football. This is what we do. Stout defense, a really interesting and almost unpredictable offense whenever it comes to whether or not we're going to run, whether or not we're going to throw. It's going to be interesting to see in that regard. And we have a defense that really loves to give people problems. As long as we don't, slow down in the fourth quarter, I think that it's going to be a tough game. I don't think that we're going to win this game. I just don't. I think that the Chargers are just a Super Bowl caliber team, and we might be a playoff caliber team. I think that this game will tell us definitely whether or not we are playoff. If we win, we are so playoff ready. I don't think we're Super Bowl ready. But I think that we could be playoff ready depending on how this goes. So overall, when I'm thinking about this game, I'm thinking that it really comes down to one thing, and that is run game on both sides. I think that it really depends on what our run game does offensively and what they can do to stop our run game defensively. We already know that they have an amazing offense. We already know that we have a pretty damn good defense. So we know that that's going to be a hard matchup. But when we're thinking about really winning this game, that is about the run game. If the Chargers wind up able to make Jackson and our RBs stay between tackles, then there could be some really huge mistakes there. And my thoughts offensively with the Chargers, I think that they can really win just off the ground and the edges. I mean, if you think about their checkdowns to the running backs, that's a scary proposition. Plus, they typically have a better time of possession than we do. They can use that to their advantage to tire out our defense, even down to the fourth quarter. And then just keep putting points on the board in the fourth and make it a two-possession game maybe, all the way to the end. Final thought is that this is going to be a really hard-nosed grind game. This is going to be dirty and mean. I expect both of these teams to show up really wanting to win and really, really being beat up at the end of it. My final prediction on this game is that I think that it's going to be a Chargers win. I think it's going to be 27-23 Chargers. I just really don't see the Ravens being able to pull this one out. This is the first time that Lamar Jackson's going against such a good defense. We've been able to pretty much carve up lower defenses. I mean, even Kansas City, their defense wasn't great, right? But they had an amazing offense. The Chargers have a great offense. They have a great defense. They're really Super Bowl caliber and Super Bowl ready. I just don't think we are. Anyway, guys, I hope that for all my people back in Cali, that you are enjoying yourselves at the Chargers game. I really wish I could be with you, but it's the holidays. Got to be with the family and stuff like that. So that's cool. I'm going to be watching the game hopefully tomorrow with my family. I hope that you're doing the same. And till I see you again, please have a safe and Merry Christmas. If you haven't already, please comment and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what your thoughts are on this game, what you're looking forward to, what you're not, what you're afraid of, what you're not. It's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be really, really a great way to see what we need to fix going into next season. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Make sure you check out everybody else's show. If you haven't already subscribed and comment, please. We love talking to you. Let me know what you think is going to go right for this game, what's going wrong. I want to hear from you Chargers fans and, of course, my Ravens fans. I want to hear from everybody. So let me know what your thoughts are on this game and what you're worried about or what you're not worried about. Make sure you check out DGBG. He put a video up earlier. I think that Gabe put a video up as well. I don't know where Mark is. I don't even know if he's alive, to be honest. Maybe he is. Maybe he'll poke his hand out of the sand after the Browns beat him tomorrow. Anyway, guys, I will see you later. Go Ravens. Fuck the Steelers and the Patriots and the Bengals and the Browns and the Chargers. Sorry, but I mean, I like you. I got no issues with you, but I got to do it. It's obligatory. It just won't stay down. I'm sorry for this. Have a good one. I'll see you later. Happy holidays.